And you're just questioning everything, including like your whole entire being and vibration and existence and approach to life, when like really that probably had nothing to do with you. So I think there's a thing as taking on too much responsibility for your life.
Yeah.
And I think the medicine here is switching from reacting to our circumstances, which is most people's default, and graduating into responding to our circumstances.
Like, I look back and I think of this mundane, silly little moments that I was trying to rush through as some of the best moments. Stopping as often as you can to really look around at how far you've come, noticing the progress, because you always will have progress. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of High Vibin It. Lynnsey here, a hypnotherapist helping you to uncover your subconscious limiting beliefs and create the life you desire. And I'm here with my co-host and BFF, Kelsey. Say hi.
Hello, everyone. Kelsey Aida here. Aida like the opera. If you're new to our show, we help you live your best life. We help you align with your goals, manifest your dreams, love yourself more, and all around just be a badass spiritual babe. So welcome. If you don't know who I am, I'm a best-selling author. I write books on manifestation, affirmations, self-love. I just finished a book called The Manifesting Fix that I'm so excited to release in 2026. So stay tuned for that. And today, what are we talking about, Linz?
Oh, well, today is a very good episode. And yes, I am presenting it like we're on The Price is Right because it's very interesting. I like this idea because it's really something that I think both of us struggle with, probably everybody struggles with, but it's this idea of like, how do I hold on to my manifestation and what I want? How do I hold on to the goal when my reality at the very moment is maybe sometimes showing me the opposite, or a lot of doors seem to be closing? How do I focus on that one door that I want open without getting discouraged and really holding on to that energy? So that's what we're going to talk about today. The struggle is real, y'all, and we're just here to help you hopefully navigate it a little better.
Yeah, it has come to our attention via some research of the, law of attraction boards and chit chats online that one of the biggest struggles for most people is like the disparity between the life you're creating and the life you're living, and how like you're told to just ignore your current reality, but then how can you ignore your current reality when your current reality is very real to you and affecting your life, and circumstances are not fake? Like, I hate when people are like, oh, we're just in this hologram, everything's fake, nothing matters anyway. I'm like, well, it's not fake to you when you're in the hologram. That's the whole point, So we're going to talk about how to kind of navigate that disparity and discrepancy, and hopefully it helps anyone who's on the manifestation journey and has been kind of at tug of war between like, how am I supposed to believe my dreams are coming true and like, this is my life right now, yada, yada. Lynnsey, what do you have to say about it so far?
I don't know. I think it's a bold statement, but I kind of feel like we are always in some version of that, right? Unless you are done manifesting, you always have something that you want and something that you're kind of trying to achieve and something that isn't in your life yet. So I think we're always going through it to some extent. And sometimes it looks really dramatic, and sometimes it's just subtle. Sometimes you can feel satisfied and still not be where you want to be, and sometimes it is painful where you are because it is not where you want to be. And so whatever degree of that you are in now, if you are, I know I am at this very moment, a door got slammed in my husband's and by proxy my face like 4 days ago, and I'm still like, okay, well, that was kind of the plan. So now what do we do?
Girl, same. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
So relatable. Okay, so Jeff was supposed to close this huge deal and he was going to make a huge commission check, and he basically got fucked out of it, which happens a lot in commercial real estate. So we weren't like, you try not to count your eggs before they hatch, right? You want the deal to actually be closed before you're like banking on that money. And it was in the six figures. It was a 6-figure check, and it's no more. So that was a bummer,
Yeah, I mean,
so what are you going to do?
Your husband works in commercial real estate. Mine works in TV, and he got this gig for like 3 weeks, very short, but pretty nice, right? Pretty nice paycheck. And they just canceled the gig, just canceled it. And I think it has something to do because it was for an airline, and I think a lot of airline stuff is not happening because of flights getting canceled and what's happening in the world at the moment. So I don't know. It's just for me, and I think for you and probably everybody because we're all dealing with it to some extent. It's just a feeling of like, okay, the floor is literally dropped out from under us. What do we do now? And it's that, for me, it's almost like a, not defeated. I don't want to say defeated, but it can feel like that for a moment. Like, okay, well, we thought this was for sure, and now it isn't. So WT motherfucking F. Like to the most
And
intense
quote that one.
quote. That's going to be the quote for the episode. But like, I don't know about you, but for me, the whole next day after we found this out, I was just like trying not to panic, because I'm very, that's like my first reaction still. And I am getting, before I wasn't even conscious of what was happening, before like my awakenings, before I started learning about like how powerful we are. Now I still get those little nudges, those little like knee-jerk reactions, but I'm much better at like talking myself down and just reminding myself that I'm safe, reminding myself nothing's coming after me, reminding myself that like I still have power, I still have choices, there are still steps forward, and it's not the end of the world. It can feel like that though, and this is just a gig. For you it was just one deal. For other people it could be loss of a house, it could be loss of anything, any kind of like loss can feel like it is the end of the world. So I know that's a dramatic way to say it. Right now, in this episode, we're talking about how to hold the vision of what you actually want, which for us, I feel like, okay, this is just a side note. I told Kelsey I was going to start recording myself because she is on her phone for like better quality videos. And I was like, I don't know. I don't have any more storage on my phone because I have children and I take pictures of them all the time. Yeah, it was like 2 minutes. We're 6 minutes in and my phone was like,
gosh.
no, it's not going to do it.
Never mind.
We tried.
Plan.
We tried,
Oh,
but I do need to clear off memory. I definitely need to take that as a sign to clean my phone. But anyway, yeah, it can feel very devastating. So how do we hold on to the vision? And what I want hasn't changed. And the avenue to get it, that, you know, that path that we thought we were walking was going to be a very big help to kind of just add that relief and that freedom. And now that door has closed. So how do we hold the vision when it looks like we are being short-circuited in our opportunities, in so many words?
Yeah, I mean, personally, for me, when stuff like that happens, I'll get sad about it for like 30 seconds, and I'll be like, this is my attitude about my default now. After I'm sad for like 30 seconds, I'll be like, well, just means there's a better opportunity, or like, curious to see what's better on the other side, because I believe if it wasn't that one, then that means there's just something better. You know, like, for example, when I moved to Columbus, Ohio, there were so many apartments that I thought I wanted, right? This is my first time living on my own. I was like, oh my gosh, I want this one, I want that one. And none of them were working out. And I was like, oh, that's the one I wanted. Why is God closing these doors? Literally. And of course, the one that actually worked out was like 10 times better than all the other ones that I thought that I wanted. So it's like classic. I think life has just proven to me enough that over time, it just works out for the better. So I try not to worry too much when things seem like they're not working out, or when circumstances are kind of like just all up in your face.
Yeah.
Which
the circumstancing for sure.
But I think where a lot of our pain comes from is like this manifestation misconception that we are in control of every single aspect of our reality. And then you think when something goes wrong or something unwanted happens, that it's somehow your fault for being a vibrational match to that. And then you're just questioning everything, including like your whole entire being and vibration and existence and approach to life, when like really that probably had nothing to do with you. So I think there's a thing as taking on too much responsibility for your life. And I think the medicine here is switching from reacting to our circumstances, which is most people's default, and graduating into responding to our circumstances. Because when you respond, you're taking it in, you're assessing the situation, you're not making it mean something negative about yourself or your life. And then from there, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go? What's the life that you want to create? And honestly, I think when our circumstances are circumstancing, for lack of a better word, when the contrast be contrasting, that can be the perfect rock bottom moment. That can be the perfect motivation. That can be the perfect jumping off point for the new life. So I think when people say, my reality is showing me this, so that must mean I can't have that, it's like, no, your reality is showing you this before you get that, because that's how it works. It's contrast, then expansion. The fact that you're in a contrasting moment, to me, says that you're more inevitable and more likely to achieve the
Right.
expansion moment on
Because
the
if
other
you
side of that. So if you
because if you
use it
weren't,
as
then it would look
evidence
the
that
same.
actually your dream life is coming together, it's a way different experience.
Yeah, and it's the same as like, okay, there's so much I want to say. Hold on, let me try to get my thoughts in order. It's the same as like when you wanted to quit hair and then you got a bunch of hair clients. Like I've had clients, actual hypnotherapy clients that are like, I want this goal, but the opposite keeps showing up. And I think it's just another testament to the fact that like that is the exhale before the inhale, or that is the contrast before the contraction before the expansion. Like it's just gonna do that. So I like that. I also like, if this door closed, that must mean there's a better door opening. And that's something that's really helped me out too, for sure. And it's always my husband who reminds me of these things. I love him so much, but he's just like, well, something better. I'm like, oh yeah. You're right. Something better. But also what really helps me to keep the vision is to remind myself that I don't have to do it alone and to ask for help. So I started going through Tammy Mastroberte's book, remember Higher Help Method?
Yeah.
I just thought it was like the perfect time. I was like, I'm gonna see what's in this baby, what's in store. It was that, along with me like kind of beseeching the ancestors, guides, angels, higher help people, whoever's in my crew, like, guys, who do I need to talk to? What opportunities do I need to look out for? What are the signs I need to see? Just I need something. Give me something. And I shit you not, within 24 hours, I started seeing so many synchronicities, like weird ones, and ones that like you can't make it up, and you can't like ignore it. For me, it's like you can't ignore it, and the reason they're so crazy is because I did ignore it, and then it happened again. So it's like I know that the universe is speaking to me. I know my guides are there, and they're helping me, and they're seeing me, and that just kind of adds, for me, a big level of like, okay, so it's in hand. Someone's got it in hand. Someone who is much more capable than me is figuring this out, and I can relax. And so that alone, just giving myself permission to chill out about it, has not only made me feel better, but also like is creating opportunities that I wouldn't have access to if I was stuck in this like high anxiety, like worry, trying to figure it all out. What's the end result going to be kind of mindset, you know?
Right, because if you believe it's all on you, it kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier of like, what did I do to create this mess that I'm currently in? How am I going to get myself out of it? And it's just like me. And then that just causes you to freak out more because you're feeling out of control, but you're trying to control things that aren't in your control.
Yes.
So then you're just in like this weird control spiral.
Yeah. So that's really
your
helped.
psyche.
And no, and that's what's really, that's kind of my go-to is like, and I don't always remember to do it. You know, it's like the thing that works the best, you forget the easiest, like gratitude. If you're feeling crappy and in a funk and like not yourself, what are you not doing that you used to do that made you feel better? Probably your mindset practices, probably lighting your incense and lighting your candle and talking to your guides and freaking writing down 3 things you're grateful for. The basic stuff that we just, as we go along in life. And to be fair, life's hard, okay? There's a lot of stuff going on. So I'm not at all coming down on anyone for forgetting, but those simple things, if you can just remember to do them and remind yourself of these very simple things, it can take such a load off. And I think at the end of the day, in order to get the thing you want, you must relax. And it sounds like a cheat, doesn't it? It sounds like there's no way that's how to do it, but it totally is. Relax and do things you love and things that make you happy and get yourself in alignment with the feeling you want to have. And that's when the cool stuff happens. It happens every time. Every time. Hey there, it's Lynnsey. Are you ready to transform your life and achieve your biggest dreams? Well, welcome to the Align Your Mind membership. As a seasoned hypnotherapist, I've crafted a digital sanctuary where you can access powerful hypnotherapy audios anytime, anywhere. Imagine waking up each day feeling empowered, confident, connected to the universe, and ready to conquer your goals. With AYM, you'll experience deep, long-lasting transformations in every area of your life. If you're ready to rewire your mind, release what's holding you back, and start living your dreams, don't wait any longer. Just click the link in the episode description and start embodying your highest potential today.
Yeah. And I think part of the problem with this is not allowing time for you to evolve into the new life and for the new life to come into your reality. So if you're looking at your current reality and saying, oh, this isn't what I'm manifesting, this isn't what I'm wanting, like, Duh, that's what you manifested from before. There is a lag time to this process,
Yes.
okay? There is a lag time, whether you want to admit to it or not. Like, yes, things are quantum, but yes, things take time. And yes, time is also an illusion, but also, like, we kind of live our lives by it as humans.
Yeah.
So there is a time aspect that I think if people could just, like, accept is the reality, I think they'd
Yeah.
have a lot less resistance to their current circumstances. Because, like, it does take time for you to see results at the gym. Like, you don't just go one time and then you're freaking ripped and buff and hot as fuck. Like, you have to go for months, sometimes
Yeah.
years, and the effects are compound. It's the
And what
same
is it
thing
though?
with,
And the thing is with working out, it's not just moving your body either. It's an entire lifestyle change. And that I think is a great example of when I tell clients that hypnotherapy is quick, but it's not a one session thing. Like you have to, just like the gym, I use that all the time. And it's true with almost every kind of real change you want to see. It's not just the physical act, it's not just the mental act, it is an entire embodiment. You don't just go to the gym and expect to be changed. By going to the gym, you find that you start to eat healthier. You find that you actually care about what you're putting in your body. You find that you want to be more active and you want to do things that get you out. And it is just a lifestyle change. So I think that is very good. I love that metaphor because it's not just like doing push-ups. You're changing some, but it's not the whole thing.
yeah, because it's like there's little signs of change along the way, but only if you notice them because they're subtle, you know? So,
Yeah.
like, let's say if you are trying to lose some weight, like, you might not lose 10 pounds in the first couple of weeks, but you might realize I'm sleeping better. Oh, I have a little bit more energy. Oh, I'm wanting to eat better to maximize my workouts. Like, so you'll
Yeah.
notice things along the way. And then 3 months in, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, look at my biceps. And then 6 months in, you're going to be like, look at my body. And then a year later, you're going to be like, whoa, that's
Yeah.
crazy. How much have I changed? So it's the same with any area of life. Like, there's going to be compound effects over time that if you stay committed to the course are going to change your circumstances and change your reality. But I think if you're so fixated on this is my current reality and making that mean something, that's where we get caught up.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot, I'm always going to say this because I must allow myself to have bad days when I have them. Because you're going to have bad moments. You're going to have human days where you just don't want to. There was a day last week where I was like, I don't fucking want to manifest. I don't want to do any mindset work. I don't want to feel better. I just want to be mad. And I think that without getting stuck there and without like letting yourself be mad for too long, I always give myself a time limit. Like, you're allowed to be mad for this amount of time and then pull yourself up by your bootstraps and be a normal human. But I think it's important to allow that time too, because as we always say on the show, we came here to feel it all. And if you're ignoring any part of how you feel, know why you're feeling it. I would use that time to really get introspective and figure out why you're feeling it. I definitely knew why I was feeling it. And so giving yourself time to let yourself feel what you feel allows more space for you to feel joy when it's time for joy. You wouldn't even know what joy was if you didn't feel shitty sometimes. You just wouldn't. So I think that the whole spectrum of emotion is valid.
Exactly. Well, it's the contrast that gives the context.
Yes.
Right? Without the
that's a
contrast,
good one.
you don't have any context. You don't, like, without shitty weather days, you're not like, sunshine. Like, if it was just sunny every day, you wouldn't know the difference. You wouldn't think to enjoy that. You wouldn't know how amazing it is, So yeah, that's something important and poetic for y'all to remember. So you're welcome from your writer girly. And speaking of writing, I was writing about this in my book, The Manifesting Fix, because it's basically like a resistance releasing manifesting troubleshooting guide. And something that was very clear when I was like basically channeling messages into the book was that divine timing is real, first of all. Second of all, that you are a creator, but you are not the creator. So not taking too much responsibility in a healthy way. Like, yes, radical responsibility for your life, but not like overbearing responsibility.
Not like
the
to the
nuance
point
that
where
we
it
talked about
causes
before.
you. Yeah, you don't want to be held back by it. You don't want to spiral because you think everything is your fault. Like that's not what we're saying. It's not healthy.
So don't do that. And the circumstantial doubt piece is like, if you're resisting your current reality, you're just in resistance, period. That's not going to help you manifest the new reality.
Okay,
and
so
the
here's
ironic thing, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, I think you're going to touch on it, but I think this would be a good time to talk about like how do we observe our reality and still get like, how can we do that in a healthy way rather than saying like, oh, I hate this. I hate where I'm at. But I don't know.
Right.
Go ahead and finish your thought and then we can move on to that.
Yeah. If you're resisting your current reality, like looking at your circumstances and just like, this can't be real, this shouldn't be where I'm at, I don't have time for this, blah, 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 anything along those lines. You're in resistance, period. You can't selectively resist things. So you can't resist your feelings and be open to your manifestations. You can't resist the present moment and be open to a better future. So we have to get rid of the resistance. And the best way to get rid of resistance to the present moment, I find, is just a healthy dose of making peace and acceptance with it, which most people confuse for condoning it. They think, oh, if I accept my reality now, I'm just telling the universe, I'm just telling God that this is all
giving
I want.
up.
I don't need any more. So they think they have to protest their life, which they don't. But you're allowed to look at your circumstances and not like it, and then do something about it and use that as a jumping off point. Because really, your most empowered way to navigate this is to look at your circumstances and be real about where you are. And then from there, build your dream life on top of that from that. Because you can't just like have a GPS tell you where to go and you can't even put in the destination where you are. Like you need where you are and where you're going in order to make the map happen so that you can get there. So there's no shame in whatever's going on in your life, and you don't have to make it mean something negative about yourself or your future. That's just projecting your past onto your future, which we don't want to do.
And every day is a new starting point. And I like this GPS metaphor too, because this is another thing that I love to think about when it comes to the journey. And they say like, it's the journey. When let's say you're driving from, I don't know, Michigan to Tennessee or to North Carolina. I love driving through the hills of Tennessee. If I was mad every time I'm not where I want to be yet, what do you mean? Stupid hills. Like, that would be
right. You're not like questioning it the whole time because you know you're going there.
You know that's the destination, and you know that you can just look out the window and enjoy the scenery. And I'm not saying everything's going to be pretty. There's also sewers, and there's also like dumps and crappy things to see. But it is about the journey, and that's I think what the hardest part for me was. Like, I don't want it to be about the journey. I want it to be about the destination. That was the biggest struggle for a long time, until I realized like I look back and I think of this mundane, silly little moments that I was trying to rush through as some of the best moments. And I think we all can, if we want to, we all have examples of that. It really is about the journey. And so stopping as often as you can to really look around at how far you've come, noticing the progress, because you always will have progress. And even if you just go back 6 months from now, go back 6 months or go back a year and see where you were then and notice how far you've come and just get excited about where you'll be in the next 6 months or a year. I just think we need to give credit to the journey. We don't do that often enough, even though we talk about it all the time.
Well, we don't give credit because we don't value it, especially in a society where everything is instantaneous. We've lost touch with how valuable it is and how much more satisfactory things are when we actually do have to wait for them.
Yeah.
Because we don't wait for anything now.
Remember
if
Christmas
you want a quick
when you were
dopamine hit, you just start scrolling. If you want some lunch delivered to you in 20 minutes, you just Uber Eats it. Like, if you want to watch anything on demand, you just go find it. Like, it's never been faster.
Do you remember, like, how exciting Christmas was when you were a kid? And how, like, after the presents are opened, you're like, oh, I wish it could be Christmas Eve again. Not Christmas Day. You always wish that it could be Christmas Eve because you still have the presents to look forward to. You still have that excitement, that giddy feeling right before you go to sleep. And to a certain extent, you can still have that every single day. One of my favorite things to say when I wake up is, I can't wait to see how today's going to be the best day. I can't wait for the universe to show me how good it can be. I'm so excited to see all the surprises that are coming for me in the best way. And you can do that anytime. I was just on a podcast and I just said this, and the podcast host was like, I'm doing that tonight. And she told all her listeners, like, let's all do it, and we'll wake up and we'll write down all the cool things that happened that day, and we'll tell each other all the cool things. And I just thought that was so cute. Like, why not have more excitement in the day? Why not create more excitement for yourself? Because that's one of the fastest ways to create more things to be excited about is getting into the feeling of what you want to attract. Yes?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
for
getting
me,
excited
I
talking
do
about it.
something similar, but I word it different. I say, so when I wake up, Jeff's already out of the bed because he wakes up early and I need my beauty sleep, right? So
Okay,
I
but
be
hang on.
sleeping.
You still wake up so early though, don't you? I feel like you wake up at like 7.
No, no. That's like impossible for my body. I've literally tried going to sleep at so many different times, and it doesn't matter how early I go to sleep. My biological body clock is like, don't really want to wake up before 8. 7:30 is like
Really?
probably as early as I can go. Girl, it's a
Interesting.
struggle out here. Anyway, so Jeff wakes up early, and I wake up around 8 to 9, depending. And I wake up with Otto, and Otto's snuggling me, my dog, my 9-pound miniature wiener dog. And he's like all the snuggles. Like he's all up in my neck and my chest. Like if I'm facing away from him, he's like a long wiener, like right on the back of my back, like suction cup to my body, like all night and all morning.
Hold on. Long wiener
Wiener
suction
dog.
You said long wiener suction cup to the back
Because
of
he has
your
a little
body
wiener.
all night. That is going to be the quote of this episode. And
My wiener dog, people, get your head out of the gutter. And
Never.
so we be snuggling, and when we wake up, he like wakes me up. He gets on my chest, and he's like, "Bitch, wake up! I have to pee." Right? So he's like all on top of me, and then I get him off the bed because he can't jump off the bed because his little legs. It's bad for his back, and we don't have like a ramp to the bed. So I'm like, "Wait, don't jump!" So I pick him up, I put him on the floor. And then I'm just like, aren't you so excited for another day in the life? And I'm like talking about me and him. I'm like, another day in the life as Kelsey and Otto, living our best lives. Bring it
That's
on, you know?
cute.
So
I
I'll be
love
like,
that.
Otto, you ready for another day in the life? And then he does this little yawn, little stretch. And then he's like, duh, I'm the most spoiled thing on earth. Of course I'm ready to be me. And then I'm just
like
hyped
that.
up to be me and just live another day in the life. And that's
I
what
like
we be
that
doing.
too because it kind of puts you in like, if I were writing this script, what would I do with it? That's what it makes me feel like. Like another day in the life. What are we writing in the script today? Like that's cool because it gives you like main character vibes. I love it.
100%
100%.
main character vibes. Otto's the main character of my life for sure.
Oh my goodness. That's so cute. I love that. Gosh, well, I don't know. Either I think for people like listening to this, hopefully you got a little excited about that because I think everybody should use some version of like, how can I add more excitement to my day? Sometimes I put cinnamon in my coffee and stir it 3 times clockwise. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I do it because I think whimsy and excitement are the name of the game. And anytime we can do that, we should. Also, distraction. Can we talk about the value of distraction? Because
I'm intrigued by this
if you are,
subtitle.
I'm a huge proponent of distraction because sometimes if I'm feeling like a little bit 3D be 3D in, right? If I feel too much in the 3D and I know that that I am in a space where my mental health says you can't today there will be no projecting to a better future. Today you are just focused on what is, and that's what today is going to be. Sometimes the best thing for me to do is distract myself, is to just go offline and not think about stuff. Not necessarily go offline, although I do really encourage everyone to unplug as often as possible. But for me, it's more like, I'm just not going to think. I'm going to do something fun that has no consequence, that I don't quantify with anything. And I'm just going to I'm going to take a mind day off and I'm just going to play and do whatever I want to do. Now, I don't do it all the time, but I think it's important, and I think that we don't give it enough credit. Because if you can't get to a place on the emotional guidance scale, you know, the Abraham Hicks emotional guidance scale, some of you may be familiar, it's like going from hopelessness to anger is still going up the ladder. And that is a win. If you can go from anger to like revenge, that's another win. Even if you're not all the way up to empowerment, you can move up the ladder. But some days, either you don't want to move up or you feel like you just are exhausted and you can't. That's when I think distraction is the best thing to do. If you can't move to the positive, do something fun and mindless until you can.
Well,
100%.
Your distraction sounds like a pattern interrupt, so that's why it works.
Yeah, exactly. It lets all momentum subside for a moment. And if that day means you're kind of creating a little bit of negative momentum, sometimes we do be doing that, then distraction is great because then you kind of let it all pause. And you just let yourself feel better as whatever way you can. And then when you do pick up, you find that it's a little easier. Works every time. Just don't
Mm-hmm.
get stuck in distraction. Never get stuck anywhere. I think that's just a blanket statement we can agree on. Unless it's joy or excitement, you can get stuck there. Although you might get bored.
You know that this show is 100% self-produced and made possible by listener support? If you love the show and want to help us keep bringing you all the good stuff, join our Patreon. Your support helps us cover editing, software, and everything we need to keep this podcast going and growing strong.
As a Patreon member, you'll unlock amazing perks like early access to every episode, extended video content, behind the scenes footage, and more. And the best part, if you're one of the next 100 people to join, you'll get our exclusive manifestation toolkit valued at over $100 as soon as we hit our goal of 100 patrons. Head to patreon.com/highvibe to join, and we'll see you inside. Have you seen The Good Place? I write about that in my book. I'm like, everyone gets to the good place, and whoop-de-doo, everyone gets everything they want the second they want it, and they all become mindless zombies and hate their lives.
And they don't care. Exactly. And we were just talking about this on the last solo too. Like, you wouldn't want to come here and just have everything right away. No, you wouldn't come here because Earth is not a place to do that.
You wouldn't.
Your human self thinks you would, but your soul knows better. Please always remember that. Your soul knows better. That's another way to keep yourself focused on your goal, is to remember that even if your human's going through it, your soul knows better and it's got a plan. Whether you say it's the divine, the universe, your soul, your higher wisdom, your guides, or all of it, it knows better than you right now. There's a chicken at my window to help drive that point home. It is trying to find me. It's looking through. I can see its little
chicken.
I can see its red comb wobbling. He's trying to look for me.
Side note, tell everyone about your chickens.
Well, what do you want to know? They're really loud, and they give
How many
me
do you
6
have?
eggs a day.
Do you feed them? Do you eat the eggs? Do they produce nice eggs?
Okay, so fun fact, these chickens have been a manifestation. So this is exactly what I wanted. Even though they're loud and they
And when you didn't have chickens, you weren't like, oh my God, look at my reality. No chickens. That must mean I'm never going to have chickens.
Right. And I think for a moment we're all allowed to believe, like, oh, am I ever going to get it? And I may have thought that about chickens.
Yeah,
at one
everyone's
point.
allowed to question things, but if you do that too much.
No, yeah, definitely don't. Well, I got the chickens in March, end of March, early April, and I got 6, and they are all female because we're not allowed roosters in. Oh my gosh, this is another thing that worked out. Okay, so I am so lucky, and everything's always working out for me. Okay, I am so lucky, and everything's working out for me. This has to do with it because there was a moment when we just got the chickens, and a few months later, they all got out because their coop was left unlatched all night. Thanks for the boys in my family. I'm not going to name any names, but it was a boy, and it was one of them that I love so much.
They're all boys, for context. So
Yeah,
that really narrows it down.
Yeah, and they all got out in the street, and we got a ding dong doorbell, and we answered the door, and our lovely neighbor, who they're all so nice, he was like, I think your chickens are out. And my husband goes out to see all of our neighbors, like 7 people, trying to wrangle these chickens in the street. Okay, luckily we live on a dead end, so it's fine. There wasn't much traffic, and they're like, oh, it's so embarrassing. I was like, oh no, I'm that neighbor that has such a problem.
Chicken lady.
Chicken got out, and so we had the city come to our door, and they're like, well, technically, this was the 24th of August, I believe. 24th of August. She's like, you're not allowed to have chickens, but we're doing an amendment for the city so that you can have chickens. But it doesn't go into effect until the 27th of August. And it was the 24th. So it was literally 3 days.
Oh my God.
And they're like, just give us a call on this card whenever you can. And so we call them, and it turns out we had to buy a permit. And now I'm stressing out. Like, they're either going to take our chickens, or we can only have a certain number, and we're going to have to get rid of the chickens. And I did a little doom spiral for a second. I was like, or the permit's going to be like $300 because we're in the city and it's, whatever, sort of in the city. It's, a small town, but whatever. And it turns out my husband built this huge run for them because we were supposed to have them enclosed at all times. Like, it was part of we read the whole thing, the whole paper. And I was like, oh no, they're not going to be free range. it was not good. He built this whole thing. It was like so many things that I thought I was going to have to change. Spoiler, he goes to the office finally when they got the paperwork ready, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm here to buy a permit. Do I have to set up a time for you guys to come check out the property and like look and make sure? Because it did say on the form, like, we will set up an appointment to check that your property is good enough and that everything's fine. And they're like, nah, $25. At the end of the day, all that worrying and all that. And I know, like I'm preaching to the choir because every single one of our listeners is like, yep, been there, did that, worried about that, didn't have to worry about it. But $25 and we had to change nothing. He built it's great. It's a beautiful run. We just don't need it now. I mean, it's good for the winter, I guess. It worked out. But yeah, that's another little side tangent about how you are so lucky and everything's working out for you at all times. And if you can remember that, then things will work out for you. But that's the story about my chickens, or at least the drama, I guess, about my chickens. But I did water glass. If any of you are familiar with water glassing, I water glassed like 70 eggs the other day. And that's just a process of like, do you know what it is?
Mm-mm.
It's a process of like putting them in this lime and water solution in a jar, whole, like clean, with the bloom still intact, which is the lining that surrounds the egg. When they just come out of the chicken's vent, they have this coating that protects them from germs. Store-bought eggs are washed, so you have to refrigerate them. But if you don't store-buy them and you just have them come out of your chickens, you can leave them on the counter for like 2 weeks or in the fridge for like 3 months. Anyway, water glassing is leaving the bloom intact, means don't wash them, put them in the jar, put some lime and some water in there, and you can preserve them for like 18 months or I think someone said up to 24 months or something.
Damn.
And in the winter, chickens don't lay eggs, so that's going to come in handy. But I got eggs coming out of my ears, guys. I need to get rid of some of these eggs.
I wish we were neighbors so I
would
could have
bring you
your
so
eggs.
many.
Jeff and I eat so many eggs. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Well, hey, listen. Anytime, I'll bring you. Like tonight, we're having a thing for over at the house, and I am giving my sister 12 dozen. I'm giving my mom not 12 dozen, sorry, 12. I'm giving my mom 12. I'm throwing eggs out the window because I just don't know what to do with them, and I don't really want to sell them because they're unwashed, and some of them, I don't know, it can get weird. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what to do with them all, but 6 is too many. If you live in a single family household, 6 is a lot of eggs per day. It's a lot. How many eggs do you eat in a day?
Girl, we go through like at least like 7 eggs a day if we eat them every day. Because Jeff eats like 5 and I eat like 2 for breakfast.
Actually, that does make sense. He's a big boy.
He's huge. And then because he loves his steak and eggs, because he's like a manly man, just wants to cook the easiest thing possible. So he'll like come home from the gym, be like, oh, let me cook some steak and eggs. So then that's like 4 more eggs and a steak. And for reference, my husband is a ginormous person. He's 6'7". He used to play football professionally. So he is like an ex-professional eater, I would say.
Yeah.
So now he's like, I've helped him a lot to eat more normal and more within his...
Which is really funny because...
The calories he's actually burning now because he's not playing football. I'm like, bro, you don't need to eat 6 times the amount. Maybe just like 2 is good. Yeah.
It's funny because you've had a journey with your food as well, with your diet.
Oh, yeah.
But probably I'd say the opposite journey. Yeah. And what I was going to say is you eat a crazy amount of eggs. I was just ordering groceries yesterday, and if I buy eggs at the store, when I bought, past tense, eggs at the store, I would always buy like the happy eggs, the free range organic, because if you look at a regular store-bought egg versus like a farm or like as close to a free range as you can get, it's a world of difference. They taste different, they look different, they feel different. It's just crazy. $9.99 for the good eggs. $8.99 for 12 eggs. That is bonkers. So in a way, I'm very happy. But my chickens also cost me like at least $1,500. So I don't know how that math works out.
It's gonna take you a while to recoup that investment. Unintended.
They're paying rent every day, but they still are in debt big time.
They're still in debt. Oh my God. That's hilarious. Okay, so anyway, great segment about the chickens. Love to hear it. Great life update. I'm happy that you're getting so many good eggs. I wish I was your neighbor. Also, I wish I was your neighbor so we could record
so many reasons.
Person. That would be so much more fun.
Like
and
a
so
studio
we can hang out and go to the coffee shop and have our little coffee shop work sessions and just be cutesy best friends. But here we are, living far away, recording on the beautiful internet that allows us to connect to so many people worldwide. So anyway, we're going to wrap that up here. I think the main takeaways from today's chat were just like, don't let your circumstances get you down. It doesn't have to mean anything about the future unless you make it mean something. And if you are going to assign meaning to it, assign positive meaning to it, because everyone, like 97% of people who are rich are self-made, or whatever the statistic is. Go look it up. Vast majority of people who are rich are self-made. So if you're looking at your money and being like, oh my gosh, it's not working, it's never going to work, like, that's not statistically how it actually goes. The reality is most rich people start off poor. So you could just as easily think, wow, I'm on my way to riches, just like all those other people. This is a part of the process. Or like anyone who's happily married was once single. Okay, guys, it's a part of the process. Like, let's not overthink it. Let's not make it into a big deal. It's okay.
Exactly. And if all that we, at the end of the day, I am hoping to give you, the listener, reminders that I wish I could remember when I feel like this. So if you needed to hear how to wake up and get excited, if you needed to hear to have more fun or to rest or to just remind yourself that you don't have to do it alone, whatever reminder you needed today, you got it. And I hope that it makes you feel a little bit more peaceful, a little bit more hopeful, because it is all working out. It's all working out. You just can't see it working out because it's all energy. It's energy, and it's better than you probably are thinking it's going to be. And that's another reminder you need.
Or, hot take, you can't see it working out because you're too busy looking at how it's not working out.
That too. That is very good
relevant
point
to today's conversation. So we're going to head over to the Patreon, pull some cards for our Patreon people. If you're not in the Patreon, go to patreon.com/highvibe. It's in the show notes. You can join us there for a couple bucks a month. It helps to support the show. As you've noticed, we haven't had very many sponsors lately. So if you want to sponsor the show, honestly, if you have a brand, let us know that's aligned.
Oh, yeah.
Or you can donate via Patreon and you get extended video episodes a week early, other good bonuses and fun things. So that's where we're going.
I want to talk about what we're going to talk about in the Patreon because what's cool, another cool thing about joining the Patreon is you get to kind of decide if you have a request on a guest, if you have a request on a topic, if you have a request on information that you want us to give you. One of our wonderful Patreon people asked us to kind of break down how we make the podcast. And I don't know if she's okay with me shouting her out, so I won't, but she wanted to know like how we make it, the kind of steps that we go through, because she's going to make one. So we're going to head over to the Patreon and talk about how we make the podcast. If you're at all interested, we do that all the time. If you are a Patreon member, please tell us what you want to hear. But head over there, meet us, greet us. We hang out in there a lot, and we look forward to seeing you. And on that note, we love you very much. You're taken care of, and we'll see you next time.
See you in the next episode. Bye.